Hey warriors, welcome back to the channel. When someone tries to humiliate you, don't rush to defend yourself. Don't explain. Don't justify. Don't give them the satisfaction of seeing what controls you, because the moment you react, you've already lost. You've shown them where your buttons are, and worse, that they work. Machiavelli understood a truth most people still refuse to face. The world doesn't respect emotions. It studies them. Every time you rise to anger, every time you argue to prove a point, every time you let someone pull a reaction out of you, you are teaching them exactly how to manipulate you. People don't insult you because they hate you. They insult you to test you. They want to know if they can shake your ground. If your self-image is fragile enough to be shattered by a few words, that's why the strongest men in history didn't win arguments. They mastered silence. They didn't defend themselves. They let others expose their own weakness through overexposure. Because here's the dark truth: the one who reacts reveals. The one who stays calm controls. An insult isn't just an attack, it's an invitation. It's the world asking you, do you know who you are? Or do you need me to remind you? And the moment you answer emotionally, you've already surrendered your power. You've let someone else define your worth. But the one who can stand still, who can let the chaos unfold around him without losing his center, becomes terrifying, not because he's aggressive, but because he's unreadable, because nothing exposes people faster than their reaction to your silence. So next time someone tries to insult you, don't give them your energy. Let them speak. Let their noise echo in their own insecurity. Because the truth is, only unstable people need to prove they're unshaken. The truly strong don't flinch. They simply watch. Machiavelli once said, "He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still." Now, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence is my power. Number 1. The psychology behind insults. Every insult carries a hidden intention. It's not about the words, it's about control. People use insults like probes, pressing into your mind to see what makes you twitch. When someone mocks you, criticizes your appearance, questions your worth, or sneers at your choices, they're not communicating. They're conducting an emotional experiment. They want to see your temperature rise. They want to discover what emotions dominate your system. Insults are not accidents of speech. They're carefully placed triggers designed to expose weakness. In truth, an insult says far more about the speaker than the target. Yet most people never see it that way. They take it personally, feed into it, and unknowingly hand over their emotional data to the person who insulted them. This is why Machiavelli warned rulers and men of power to remain unreadable, because predictability is the death of dominance. When someone insults you, they are not really attacking you. They are trying to measure you. They are asking, what breaks you? What hurts you? What truth do you fear others will see? The more you respond, the more information you give them. They now know which weapon to use next time. And so, what began as a small emotional test turns into a system of control that repeats until you lose the ability to remain grounded. People who understand this psychology can reverse the game entirely. Instead of being tested, they become the observer. They watch calmly as others expose their own inner instability. Because here's what happens. When someone insults you and you stay silent, they start to feel lost. Their experiment fails. Their need for control collapses. The silence burns them more than any comeback ever could. They begin to wonder what kind of mind doesn't react to ridicule. That's when power quietly shifts. Machiavelli once said, "Men are so simple and so much creatures of circumstance that the deceiver will always find someone ready to be deceived. What he meant was that emotion makes people predictable, and predictability makes them easy to manipulate. The one who can't control their anger, their pride, or their need to be liked will always dance to someone else's tune. But the one who studies before reacting, who pauses long enough to read intention instead of words, becomes impossible to manipulate. So, next time someone throws verbal poison at you, don't absorb it. Analyze it. Don't respond. Record. Because in every insult, there's a piece of truth about the one who delivered it. Their insecurity, their envy, their desperation for relevance. Remember this. Insults are psychological mirrors. They reflect the instability of the one throwing them. When you understand that, no word can wound you anymore. You don't just hear their insult, you decode it. And once you can decode people, you control the interaction. That is the real power behind emotional intelligence. Not softness, but strategic awareness. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I see through the noise. Number 2. The Machiavellian principle, control the frame. Power isn't always about dominance. Often it's about control over the frame, the invisible space where meaning is decided. Most people lose power not because they are weak, but because they accept someone else's frame of reality. When a person insults you, they're inviting you into their frame, one built on provocation, emotion, and chaos. The moment you react, you step into their arena and play by their rules. But Machiavelli understood that the one who defines the frame defines the outcome. He wrote that perception is stronger than truth because people live by appearances, not reality. So the wise don't fight inside someone else's perception. They reshape it from the outside. When you stay calm under insult, you instantly shift the frame. You make the aggressor look desperate while you appear composed. The focus moves from the words they used to the contrast between your stillness and their instability. Suddenly, they're the one under the microscope, not you. This is why emotional control is not just maturity, it's strategy. Every time you choose not to engage in a battle of egos, you silently redefine the hierarchy. You move from being a participant to being the observer, and the observer always has the upper hand. The person who reacts loses status. The one who stays centered gains gravity. It's like a chess player who doesn't rush after being attacked, but repositions with precision, waiting for the other to overextend. Machiavelli once said, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." He knew that reacting emotionally makes you predictable, while controlling the frame makes you timeless. When you remain calm, people start to question their own emotions. They begin to doubt the validity of their own aggression. Your stillness acts as a mirror that reflects their lack of discipline. They may raise their voice, but your silence raises the tension. They may attempt to provoke, but your unshaken energy exposes their childishness. Slowly, they lose confidence in their attack. And that's how the frame collapses. The true Machiavellian never seeks validation from others. He sets the emotional temperature of the room. He doesn't chase dominance. He becomes the environment others must adapt to. When you master this, you no longer react to people. They start reacting to you. That's when you step into the invisible realm of influence, where the strongest power is quiet and effortless. You begin to control perception not by words, but by presence. Remember, control of the frame is control of meaning, and control of meaning is control of minds. Every time you stay calm in a storm, you rewrite the power dynamic without saying a word. That's why composure isn't weakness. It's authority disguised as restraint. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I control the frame. Number 3. The silent authority. Silence has always been misunderstood. The world assumes that quietness is weakness, that those who do not speak are uncertain or afraid. But Machiavelli would disagree. Silence is not the absence of power, it is its highest form. The one who can remain wordless while others are desperate to fill the air with noise holds the real authority. When someone insults you, the most effective response is not a defense, not a counterattack, but a calm, deliberate stillness. That stillness carries a psychological weight that words can never achieve. It forces the other person to face their own emptiness. You see, people insult to provoke movement. They throw verbal stones expecting a ripple. When nothing moves, it unsettles them. Their mind starts questioning its own effectiveness. Did it not land? Why isn't he reacting? That inner confusion slowly turns into discomfort, and discomfort turns into respect. Because humans instinctively respect what they cannot read. The loud and reactive are transparent. The silent and composed are mysterious. Machiavelli once said, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves." One must be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. Silence is both the fox and the lion. It hides your thoughts while radiating quiet danger. When you say nothing, people begin to imagine everything. They project fear, doubt, or admiration, all created by their own minds, not by your words. That is the brilliance of silent authority. It lets others reveal themselves while you stay unreadable. In politics, in relationships, in business, the one who talks less holds the upper ground because they conserve mystery. Every unnecessary word is a clue about your inner world. Silence denies people those clues.